In the first video we looked at how you can record the screen by selecting an area. So you just select an area like that, move the rectangle into position, click on record. When you're done, click on stop, and that's how you do it. So the first thing I want to do today is to look at how to record the screen with the select window option. So take a look at the settings here. We have the size set to 640 by 360 and the window size option is selected. Now I'm going to click on the select window button and then watch what happens when I select this window. What happened there was that the window size was set to 640 by 360. And the window size that we're talking about is the client size, which means it's the box that is inside the Windows border. We're not recording the border, we're just recording the client area. And you can see that in the preview box. So now we can go ahead, it's just the same as using area selection. Click on record and you're recording. I'll just pan around a bit so you can see what's happening there. So that's that. That's a different option, a different way that you can select an area of the screen to capture. Let's take a look at some of the other options here. Firstly, update preview. Now by default, the preview, which is this box here, is continuously updated. There's a small performance hit when that's running. So if you find that you're dropping frames or you're concerned about performance, then you can turn that option off. Here you have it selected and it's being updated. You can see from the cursor. If we turn off update preview, then it's not being updated anymore. If we record and then pan around a bit, you can see that it's not being updated. Now let's look down here at recording size. By default, if you record at full size, which means that the size that you see here is the size that is recorded. If you change that to half size, then guess what happens? The resulting recording is half size. Now here is the button that says options. When you click on the options button, this area of the screen changes, so you get some more options. Starting here is the codec. The Lagraph lossless codec is one that is supplied with MachiniCam, but you can use any other codec that you have installed on your machine. They will be available from this drop down. Go ahead and try them out, see if you get a better result. You probably won't get much better result than with Lagraph. FPS defaults to 20. Try it on what you like. If you get too adventurous, you're going to probably start dropping frames, and the result of that will be that the playback will appear speeded up. File name and location defaults to my videos, and the path that you see here is one that's been picked up from the system based on my account, and the file name is MachiniCam AVI. You can change that if you like, but if you change it here, then it will change for the video that you're recording right now. But that change will not be saved. If you want to save the change, well, I'll show you how to do that in a minute. Onto the end of the file name is going to be added a timestamp. Next, capture mouse. You can see in the video that I'm capturing the mouse, and if you select that option, then you'll capture it. There are some other settings that we'll come to in a minute to do with highlighting. Keep on top means that you are keeping the MachiniCam window on top of any others, which I always want to do, even if I choose at some point later to hide it. I want it to be on top while I'm setting things up, but you may not want to have it on top, so you have the option to turn that off. Okay, next you will see here a set defaults option. Click this to open up a new page, and you will see in the set defaults some of the options that are also over here. The difference is that when you set the default options, they get saved. Next time you open up MachiniCam, you will get these options that you saved. So FPS is FPS, set window size we've already talked about. Size is the size of the area or window that you're going to record. I normally set that to 1280 by 720. Recording size we've spoken about. I normally have that on full. Keep on top, I always have it on top. Here is where you can change the default file name so that it comes up every time whatever you want it to be. Same for codec, which we've already talked about. So now there is another page. This page has to do with capturing the mouse. You have three options. There are the options to capture the mouse, you have the option to highlight the mouse, and you have the option to have a click animation. Click animation looks like this. You can change the color to anything you like. Let's try a nice lime green. You can change the transparency, make it a little bit lighter like that. You can change the size of the highlight. So I have mine currently on X large 2X mouse, which means that it's the largest size highlight and the mouse is shown as double size. And that's because I'm going to reduce the size of the final film, and I don't want the mouse to be too tiny when it's reduced. So this is the X large highlight with normal size mouse, and then you can go down to smaller and have a tiny highlight like that. That completes all the settings and options and so forth. Now let me show you a couple of other things: MachiniCam modes and hotkeys. Firstly, you can run the MachiniCam interface in three different modes: normal, hidden and small. So let's start her up. I'll set up an area to record, as you can only do this in normal mode. Now I'll show the way to move between modes. This is normal. If we hide, then we're in hidden mode. If you come down to the notification area, you will see the MachiniCam icon. Right click on that. You can actually record, pause and stop from here. You can also go back to normal mode, or you can open the small control. I can start recording. You can see here the time counter, and the rectangle has changed from red to green, and the record button itself has turned green. If we pause, then the clock stops and it says recording paused. If we resume, then the clock starts again. When we stop, it says recording stopped. At this point, you have to go back to the normal mode to reset. That's the slow way. A quicker way is to use the hotkeys F7 and F8 to toggle between normal and small modes. These are the first two hotkeys. Another way to control the recording process is to use recording hotkeys, and I'll show you that. So that you can see it clearly, I'm going to stay in normal mode, but you could be in small or hidden modes and do the same thing. I'm set up to start. I press F9 to begin recording. I can press F11 to pause, and F11 again to resume. Then F10 to stop. Thanks for watching this video. Let me know how you get on.